The discovery. I am from Eastern Europe, so my English and spelling are not really good. Now my story. I'm 38, my STBX 36, we are married for 8 years. We have a son 7 years old. My wife was a love of my life. I adored her. I tried to be a perfect husband. I work and I have a decent salary. I have my own house and car and all that paid in full of no loans. I work around the house, help her with anything I can. We go on date nights. We have a great physical life. You should think perfect, right? Wrong. I had a best friend since we were little. He has a girlfriend. We did a lot of things together as a family of 4. I thought of him as a brother I never had. I am only child. Well, about a month ago I was working and my wife sent me a text that her laptop is not working and that she called my best friend to come over to fix it because I was working and can't come home. Well, okay, no big deal, but I remembered that I had some data on that laptop which I wanted to save, and I had some free time on my job, so I went home to do that. I forgot my phone in my work suite, so I didn't call my wife to tell her I was coming. I went in the house and in the living room is my wife with my best friend doing their thing, and with her face well, let me tell you, I am not a violent guy, but that scene made me furious. I beat the crap out of my friend, the ambulance drove him to hospital, and in all that my wife started defending him, so I hit her too and she fainted. I grabbed some of her stuff and throw them on the street and drag her also out of my house. I left her laying bare on the street. Soon police came, but I live in a small town and I went to school with a chef of police, so I got just a minor violation. They made a report that friend X me and I was defending myself and accidentally X my wife. I am not proud what I did, but I couldn't control myself. 2 days passed and I called my wife to come home to talk. She was staying with her mother. She came and I told her that I am divorcing her, and if she tries to take my son away from me, she will not live long enough to do that. She was shaking with fear. I would never harm her, but she doesn't know that now. So, my son will be with me, she will be able to visit him, and I don't want to see her ever again. Please tell me that I am not a monster because I've done these things. Comment. Divorce is more than acceptable for what your W did to you, more especially in your family abode. What is not acceptable is your violent behavior or your verbal threats to her to not to try to get custody of your son. Don't really know if you're aware of it, but both your actions and statements can likely be used against you in a family, domestic relations court. Get a good family attorney to represent you, and tread lightly. And by the way, exactly where was your 7-year-old son when all this extracurricular activity by your W and your best friend was going on there in the house? OP responds, I never X any woman in my entire life, except for that day, and I am so sorry for what I done. I couldn't control myself. My son was in school when this all happened. He misses his mother, so I told her that she can come visit whenever she wants. I called his girlfriend, she knows everything. Since the DD, I checked my wife's phone, computer, everything, not a single message or a phone call. She tells me that they never communicate by phone or comp, only in person when his girlfriend and I were not around. I am shocked and devastated. I loved my wife so much. As for police, things are different in Europe and small countries. I know that if I were in USA, I would be behind bars right now. I still can't believe what I saw third day. The picture is in my head for life, I think. In my country, everything what was in my name before marriage stays mine. We share only things what were made in the marriage. Infidelity is bad for divorce in my country. She will get nothing. No money, no alimony, nothing. She seems devastated. She begs and cries and she say that she is sorry and that she will do anything to make marriage work. I love her more than life. But after what I have seen, I couldn't touch her or kiss her ever again. I told her that. She went on her knees and cried to take her back. I said, you were on your knees often last couple of months, didn't you? She was devastated. I have never ex a woman before in my entire life. And never again. It was something I couldn't control in that moment. She now says that she wasn't defending him, that she prevented me to kill him with my bare hands. I am big guy and the OM is skinny. But what did he think would happen? He came in my house to bang my wife. He was lucky he lived. Son was in school. I told him that mommy and daddy don't love each other anymore and that we will divorce. He is a smart kid, he understands. I cannot forgive such a betrayal. She is dead to me. I will talk with her about our son and nothing more. But I miss her so bad. She was the love of my life. How could she do this to us? I am from a small country in Balkan. I'm not Slovakian. I filed for divorce. I will have uncontested custody over my son. He is my son. I did a DNA test right away and results came in yesterday. My STBX will have the visitation whenever she wants. She is still calling and pleading that I give her one more chance. I told her to write me a complete timeline of the affair and she agreed to do this. I will know how big her betrayal is this time tomorrow. I know now that she levers truly loved me. If she did, she couldn't do this kind of thing to me. I won't I'm going to divorce her and if I can, I don't want to see her again. But it is so hard. I thought that we were truly happy couple. Well, guess not. Update. STBX came today and gave me a letter with the timeline of her infidelity. Last year we were together on vacation, my family and his GF. They started our affair there, and they continued to see each other this whole year till the DD. She went to his GF house, he lives there, when his GF was not around and I was working, and he came in my house sometimes too. She says that she doesn't know why she did what she did. She is very ashamed and sorry and will do everything to make this right. Crap. I don't believe her the words she is saying. She banged my best friend for a whole year and she let me go hang with him. I can imagine how they laughed behind my back and I didn't suspect anything. How could I be so stupid? Update about OM, his GF of 5 years dumped him. He now doesn't have where to live. But he doesn't need to worry about that, because he is still in hospital. I broke his ribs, arm and cheekbone. My wife's family is outraged about everything. They called and apologized to me. OM's GF called me and asked me if I want to sleep with her, to get even. She is hotter than my wife, but I won't do it. I just can't. I'm hurting like hell and I am sad. But I need to be strong because my son needs me to be. I am separated and soon divorced. There isn't any waiting for divorce in my country. Only court date, and if all parties are committed to terms of arrangement for divorce, it goes pretty fast. So, soon I will be single again. A little update, OM's still in hospital. He will be there for weeks, I think. STBXW calls every day and she is trying to apologize. I told her that what she did is such a betrayal that there isn't anything in the world that she can do to make her undo what she did. I love her still, but I despise her at the same time. What was she thinking? Well, my boy knows what is going on. He won't see or speak to his mother. He saw me crying one night and next day he said to my STBX, "Mom, you destroyed my dad, you destroyed our family. I don't want to see you ever again. You are not my mother anymore." She had a mental breakdown in that moment. My kid is smart and he understands things. I didn't want him to do this, I want him to have her mother, but he doesn't want to see her anymore. I think that my wife is contemplating suicide. I don't know what to do. I don't want to see her again if it is possible. I don't want to hear from her. From the moment I caught her with my friend, she was dead to me. No matter how much I love her, no matter how much it will be hard for my boy and me, I don't want to spend the rest of my life with a cheating WH0 no matter how remorse she shows. The hard truth is that all the cheaters know exactly what they are doing, and then if they don't want to be married anymore, they leave, and if they do want to stay it is because of convenience, and then they see the light and come to realize what they did. That is BS. Comment, just to bring some perspective at how messed up your wife was for doing what she did. When I read your first post, I was 100% sure you were a troll and your story was fake. It's so preposterous, I'm still not 100% on board, but I'm coming around and starting to believe. I'm saying this, not to challenge you on the authenticity of your unfortunate experience, but to say what is wrong with people. The fact that I had to warm up to the truthfulness of this story accentuates how horrific it is. I said to myself, this can't be true. What human being does this? I just had to get that off my chest. Tell you what, I don't think she's even worthy enough for her eyes to set upon you and her ears to hear your voice. I can't even reread your initial post, it's so horrific. Please, never, ever tell your son what his mother did. He'd be better off without one than knowing of that despicable act. Most kids cringe at the thought of their parents sleeping together. Can you imagine how jacked up his mind movies would be if he found out? Who knows how long it would be before he could look at his mom's face, knowing what had taken place. OP responds, "Son, he already knows. He asked my mother, his grandmother, why isn't Mummy home, and my mom told him that his mother fell in love with Uncle OM and she and I are not together anymore. He is only 7, but he is really smart and he knows things. And believe me, I would love that this is not truth, but sadly it is. We all must accept that there are evil people in this world. People kill each other, do horrible things, and people cheat on each other. My wife is an evil person. As soon as I comprehended that, it was a lot easier for me to go through this. But the image of my wife and my friend will haunt me for a long time. Of course, I will not tell him the details, not ever. Things are slow now, nothing new to report. I don't speak with my STBX, my kid is good, he is handling this mess pretty well. OM still in hospital. His ex-GF is set to sleep with me, she wants revenge, but I won't do it. She wants to record video and to send him a copy to watch. But I don't want to do that. I work, go to bar, have drinks, talk to friends. Life is starting to get better. From the moment I saw her with my best friend she is gone to me. That level of betrayal is unforgivable. I am a man with honor, I couldn't look myself in the mirror if I took her back. I just can't believe that some men will continue to live with their wives, especially after long-term affair and multiple I couldn't live with myself if I do that. That is morbid, no matter the kids and past time. It is just sickening to do something like that to yourself. Can you imagine what that wife thinks of you in the case you stay with them? What she really thinks? She despises you for being such a loser and a cuckold, but she doesn't tell you that because she wants to continue marriage because of some sort of convenience. Again, I say, I would rather X on a hill than to live with that creature of my wife again. Update, other man still in hospital. Divorce will be final in a couple of weeks. Don't is good, I am too. A couple of days after D-Day, OM mom came to talk with me about her son. OM is 30, he is younger than me, and she is 49. Well, she was afraid for her son's safety when he comes out of hospital. We talked a lot and we drank coffee. She was nice. I told her that I don't know how I will react when I see him again, so she told me that she will again talk with me about my feelings and the situation. I said okay. So, a couple of days passed and she called and came to my house. We talked about the situation and she started talking how she is unhappy in her marriage, how her husband drinks and is abusive, and she stayed for a couple of hours. Now, she is calling and wanting to come to my house whenever her husband is in the night shift. I think she wants to have sleep with me. I heard from some people that she cheated on her husband before, so I really think that she is interested in me physically. She is a good-looking woman, by the way. Would that be the ultimate revenge? But I don't think I could do that. Weeks later, I am now divorced. It went well. I got a new job with my firm in Montenegro. I'm now there. It is nice, sea and beautiful beaches. My son is spending time with my mom and my ex-wife. I will come home once a month for a few days and I will see him then. When his summer vacation begins, he and my mom will come here to spend some time together. I'm happy right now, living my life the best way I know. Well, here you pay about $500 for divorce, hire a good lawyer who knows the judge, and you can get divorce in a month. Things are simple in Serbia when you have money. Judges work for $12,000 per year, so it is not hard to speed up everything here with money. And even if you don't, divorces are pretty fast when it's not contested. It is hard living here. You bombarded us for not giving peace of our country to Albanians, so we had to rebuild everything here and we are still in process of normalization. There wasn't much to work on. House is mine, car is mine, no alimony, son is in my custody, wife agrees, that's it. Update, life is great. I was on holiday with my friend, his girlfriend, and my 23-year-old hot new girlfriend. My ex-wife is still hoping for reconciliation. I am starting to forget how she even looks like. Son is doing great, I'm doing great, and everything is okay. And if it wasn't okay, I would never regret divorcing my cheating ex-wife. My friend knows better than to mess with my new girlfriend. He prefers to be alive. And I wanted to tell you something. I still have feelings for my ex-W. I think that I will always have. I loved her more than myself. But, if you betray me, you become my enemy. I love the old her, not this W of a woman. So, I acted like I did. And it is only possible way to act in those situations if you are a man who respects himself. My comment, it's great to have a guy who has a backbone. It is rare to have these kind of OP, so please appreciate these relationship lessons. Story 2. I have some concerns with my husband's actions and looking for some help. My husband exchanged phone numbers with a female coworker. He did not tell me this until I asked. After 2 weeks of having this friend, I asked one day who he was texting. He told me he had a friend from work. He swears they were just friends. The problem is, do I believe him? He has never gone anyplace with this woman. He was home every weekend and evening. He always spends all his time with us. He said he was not really keeping it from me. He told me as soon as I asked, can men and women be just friends or was there more going on? He has never cheated and we have been together for 16 years. We have slept together daily. The other thing is that I do not have the text messages as he always has kept his phone clean. I do have access to all his passwords and phone and computer. He has no problem with that. I also asked that he not text her anymore. Then he admitted that she also goes to the same gym as him and that is how they started talking. I asked him not to text her anymore and to please switch gyms. He has stopped texting her and switched gyms. He also does not work there anymore. He was offered a promotion to leave. So, am I overreacting? I am so mad. I actually want to leave him over this breach of trust, but I love him so much. He has never done anything like this in the past and he says he didn't do anything wrong. Would this be an emotional affair possibly? They were texting every day for 2 weeks. So, confused. It has been months now and he has not texted her. Also, he invited me to work functions where she will be, so he doesn't really seem to care if I am around her. He also said I can message her if I want, but I never did that. Also, I have anxiety, so sometimes I wonder if it is all in my head. Any advice would be appreciated. Is this as bad as I am making it out to be? He swears they were just friends. I am not usually a controlling person, but this whole situation just got me a little concerned. It's odd for him to do this. When he offered to text, her answer tells her they couldn't talk anymore. I asked him to delete everything. So, he deleted the last message and I didn't get to see it. The message where he told her they couldn't text anymore every day. I did get the reply from her though. He didn't try to hide his phone. All it said was, I told you to be honest with her from the beginning. Have a good weekend. Do you guys think that sounds innocent enough? And as for the keeping his phone clean, he has always deleted all his messages since he first got a phone. He deletes them in front of me. He says maybe it saves space. Not too concerned about that, as he was deleting the messages before he started talking to her. I have the phone records, and he wasn't texting anyone else before that, cause the records would have shown it. Do you guys think I should contact this woman? My husband said it was okay. Just wondering if maybe I waited too long. It's been months. Guessing she will think I am retarded contacting her months later when they don't even talk anymore. And we're only friends for 3 weeks in total. Stupid idea. Thought it might bring me some closure. I don't know, it was every day. at least 14 days out of the 3 weeks. Also, she has a boyfriend and he knew they were friends. He didn't care. She didn't hide it from him. My husband said he didn't tell me until I asked because he knew I would overreact. And maybe I am. He swears though they were just friends. He also texts a couple really old ladies from work as well. They message him funny stuff sometimes. So maybe, just maybe, they all like to be friends and text each other. He hasn't tried to go to that gym, hasn't tried to go to his main work office where she works, hasn't messaged her, and is really happy now. He seems relieved I didn't leave. Always happy and smiling. And spending even more time with me than before, and he was always around before. He swears he didn't do anything wrong. And I found a text message to his brother saying he never crossed the line, and his brother said, "Yeah, you didn't really do anything stupid, so that's good. She will forgive you." He is doing everything he can to fix this. It's just too bad I can get over the trust issues now. I have always trusted him for 16 years. So, this is very hard for me. He said he was never hiding it. I did have his phone password and he had her as a contact. So maybe he wasn't hiding it. Just seems odd he didn't tell me. He said he wasn't hiding it, just wasn't forthcoming with it. My head is clouded right now. To be honest, it's been almost 6 months since I cut them off. I have checked his phone, email, and everything else every day for the last almost 6 months and have found nothing. I am starting to think this is all in my head, and I am getting a little obsessed with finding something. Even though I don't want to find anything. Maybe I am hunting to find nothing. Every day I find nothing, I feel better. I do agree that I need to get over this. I will never find anyone as good as him. He is a keeper. Well, besides this issue, which I am not sure is even a huge deal to begin with, my brain just won't shut it out. It's constant thinking of this all day, every single day for all these months. It just won't go away. I have a scheduled appointment with a therapist soon. Not having the text to see sucks, but I can't get them back. He does not have a Facebook account. It has been deactivated for years, but I did reactivate it and he hasn't been on it. I believe he isn't doing it now, but just want to know exactly what happened and confirm they were just friends. Just can't, cause I can't get the messages. Most of me believes him, as it was only a couple weeks, but I would have still liked to see them. Maybe for closure. But you're right, at this point it is unhealthy how much time I spend thinking and analyzing this over and over. It sucks. I am working hard now with moving on. Thanks everyone for all your help. I have trusted this man for 16 years, so maybe I have to keep trusting him to make the right choices. He shows me all the affection he can and spends all his free time with us. I am hoping I can get control of this anxiety and move on soon. Starting to think that months and months of freaking over this may have been much. I am starting to believe he was just friends with her but had an attraction as well. That would be enough for him not to tell me. He could have lied though. When I asked who he was taking to, he told me. He didn't lie and say his brother or something. Should be get some credit for that. He also had her as a contact in his phone, so he couldn't have been trying to hide it that hard, and he always left his phone out charging in the kitchen. So maybe him saying he wasn't really trying to hide it could realistic. I don't think he was going to step over any further. If he was trying to start an affair, why tell me about it? All I can figure is he realized it was wrong. He knew I would be pissed but chose to tell me anyways because he wanted to be honest. I just can't imagine him waiting 16 years to cheat. He would have done it by now, I would think. I think he just got caught up in the attention from another woman, and since they were not talking physically or having a relationship, he thought it wasn't the end of the world. However, he knows now that next time will be divorce. I will not live with dishonesty or lack of trust. I almost feel he still is trustworthy because he told me as soon as I asked. It was also only a couple weeks. He also volunteered the fact she went to his gym. I would have never known. He also said if I would start going the same time as him, he would switch gyms and come with me. He can't be that attached to her if he gave up his job, gym, and his friend for me. I do know for a fact there was nothing physical. I just wonder if this could have been an emotional affair. But it was only a few weeks in total, so not sure if that's enough time for an emotional affair to happen. The thing is that what if I leave and it was nothing? Just like he says. Then I have destroyed my marriage over nothing. The most it was for sure was texting. Also, the fact that she told him to tell me leads me in the direction that they were just friends. Also, the fact that her boyfriend knew makes me think it was innocent. But at the same time, what the hell could they have been texting about 30 times a day? I do know he texts all of his friends pointless crap every day and also texts a few older women sometimes, and I am not bothered by that. Just can't make up my mind. I need to decide once and for all if this could have been a 3-week emotional affair or if they were just friends. I should have contacted this woman months ago and I didn't. He told me to a few times. I also should have spoken to her when he brought me to the work function, and instead I didn't. No, it's probably too late to do that without looking like an idiot. It is odd with daily texting, but he texts all his friends daily, so not sure. I do know for a fact he never went anyplace with her. So, I know there was no physical affair. So, I am just left with the possibility of either a friendship or a 3-week emotional affair. If I believe what my husband says, he swears her boyfriend knew about their friendship and would be sitting beside her while they texted at times. But can I believe him? Not sure. He had done everything. I asked him if he was doing it because he felt guilty, and he said no, I just wanted these back to the way they were. He says the very worst thing that happened was he didn't tell me until I asked. And you're right. I have more evidence stating he didn't have any type of affair than I do that he did have an affair. He never went anywhere with her. She told him to tell me about her. Her boyfriend knew. My husband told me before I found out on my own and told me I could contact her. He convinced me to go to a work function where she was. The only thing that suspects the emotional affair is the hiding of the messages until I asked, and the fact that he deletes all of his messages. Not just the ones from her though. But in all honesty, I do overreact about everything. It's very true. I have weighed everything out and have decided to trust him just this once based on the following. He told me he was friends with her. I did not catch him talking to her. He stopped when I asked him to and switched gyms. He hasn't texted her in 5 months. He has never gone out without me, so I know he didn't touch her. They were only friends for a couple weeks. I don't think that is enough time for him to be in an emotional affair with her. He spends all his time with me currently and is always trying to make family plans. I have never had a reason to not trust his word before, and it's been 16 years. I found messages between him and his brother saying he never wanted her and never touched her. Found another message from July stating he never crossed the line. He brought me to a work function and she was there. He didn't seem to care at all. I spend a lot of time with other people from his work at the gym. He doesn't care and none of them have mentioned anything. Gossip is big in work areas. My gut tells me he is sorry. He said he was sorry and that he made a small mistake. He said he believes men and women can be friends, but he will not make any more female friends. I have searched all computers and phones for the last 2 years and found nothing else. Nothing at all. Made him message her months ago to say we can't text after work hours and that he should have told me about their friendship from the beginning. She responded with, "I told you to be honest in the first place." Sounds innocent to me, right? With all of these facts and the fact that he gave up their friendship so easily, I have decided not to destroy my marriage and hurt my child. If this happens again, I will leave, but I do not think it will. I think he learned his lesson. So excited to finally move on and be happy again. It has been consuming my every thought for 6 months. It's like I developed severe anxiety when this happened. I had to stop taking to him about it altogether a few months ago because I had to stop fighting with him. Poor guy just kept taking it and I had to stop. But it has not stopped for me. But he doesn't know that. Unfortunately, he agreed to come to counseling and the guy had to change the time of the appointment last minute, and I couldn't get a hold of husband because he was working. I ended up going alone, but we never went back. I have unanswered questions but can't ask them now. It's too late to start this again, so I have to live with them, I guess. He has done everything he can to fix this, but I guess I can't accept the fact that he developed a bond with some other girl. He has never done that, and I guess it kind of breaks my heart. I need to find a way to move on because other than this issue, he has been the perfect husband. He won't even argue or fight about anything now and is always calling and texting if he will be late from work. Always planning stuff to do and always kissing and hugging me. We recently got wedding ring tattoos, and when I see his stuck to his finger for life, it kind of makes me feel better. I guess just knowing that he would put it there and that it can't go away ever makes me feel nice. Odd, but it does. It shows a lot, I think. I just need to finish dealing with this myself and move on. Probably should have taken the anxiety meds, but I don't like medication. My husband had been telling me not to take the meds. He thinks it's a bad idea. He keeps trying to make me happy. I can see it. He doesn't mention anything but is always keeping me close and trying to take care of me. He knows how hurt I am at him for not being very honest. He says I am causing myself this pain as nothing bad happened. He said the worst thing is the fact he didn't tell me right away. And yes, it seems so stupid to take meds cause my husband became friends with a girl and didn't tell me. When I say it, it sounds stupid, but I am so sick of my life revolving around what they could have been talking about. It's getting so old. Don't want to work, don't want to walk the dogs, don't want to grocery shop. Just want to spend my days thinking and trying to put pieces together. It's bad. I have to homeschool my daughter who is in grade 9. I have to get focused. I do feel a lot better than I did before. Has to be anxiety though. Only felt like this one other time, and it was because my dog passed. I couldn't get over it. It drove me nuts. It's been 2 years and I didn't stop crying. Finally got over that when this happened. I don't even really believe in anxiety until recently. I just want to be happy again. Thing is that we are better now than we have ever been. He is always planning weekend family events, texting all the time and calling on his way home, buying flowers and taking me out, always holding my hand and cuddling. I could have the perfect life with this man if I could just forget about this. I hate that it happened and he chose to have a friend and not tell me. It looks very suspicious, but I haven't found anything saying it was anything else. I hate that it happened, but if it didn't, we wouldn't be as happy as we are now. We would just be good like before, not great. So, I can't even really say I would take it back. So, confused. Oh my. His actions tell me that he loves me and wants me to be happy. It's so obvious he is trying so hard. It's crazy all he has done to try to fix this. My comment, I wanted to provide a happy ending for some of you out there. Sometimes relationships can be difficult, but sometimes it can be worthwhile. Subscribe and see you in the next one.